Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm not going to be reviewing a watch, more a product. A little bit of history. My job basically means I have to move around a lot, working in different countries, mostly across Europe, sometimes Asia. And basically I've got quite a few watches, as you may have gathered from some of the videos. And I wanted a way of transporting those watches safely when I moved around, and I started looking at different types of cases and things like that, and I was struggling to really find something which I wanted, and I contacted Sinn. They sent me out their 2016 catalogue at the time. As you may know, if you've already watched the channel, I do have a little bit of a soft spot for Sinn. They're the watch brand that really got me interested in watches. And basically they sent me out the catalogue, this one here, very sizable catalogue. It's quite funny because a few weeks ago I was on Watch You Seek, and some guy posted something about Sinn being a tiny little micro brand, and something tells me this guy never actually looked at their catalogue. They're a small brand, yes, but they're by no means a micro brand. So anyway, I started looking through their catalogue, and they advised me that they do a few cases. And this PeliCase at the bottom they do really sparked my interest. So I contacted them, brought one, I think about 225 euros I believe it was. But they did tell me at the time they have very limited stock, but I think they said they only had about 4 or 5 left and they will not be replacing them. It turned up and it really is a beast. Here it is. It truly is a beast of a watch case. As you can see, technically it is only a PeliCase 1495, but it has been custom, it does have some custom spec from Sinn. I looked online and you can actually buy this PeliCase and you can buy the pluckable foam which goes on the inside. The only problem with that is I have a case, a small PeliCase I house my camera in, which I use it for these recordings, and the foam inserts don't last that long. At least I find they don't anyway. So this, plus you get the strap and you get all the foam inside. Actually, when you work it out, it's a little bit more expensive, but as you'll see in a second, I think it's worth it. So it's bomb-proof. It's your standard type of PeliCase, which means it's super, super tough. You know, they don't make really much tougher cases than these go. In the valve release system, you can padlock it. You've got the 4-point harnesses holding it all together. It does come with a strap. It is, yeah, you could throw this down the stairs, off the side of a tall building, anything inside will survive. Okay, let's go and open it. Release the 2 side levers, 2 front. I haven't set the combination combination on the front at the minute, and there we go. So you get the nice Sinn logo on here, and you get a proper nice inserts for the watches. Now these are tough. Then they are compressible, but only just. Once you have a watch in here, let's put this at the minute I'm wearing a Sinn EZM13 number 26. I actually got to order this when they first announced they were going to make one. So that was just over 4 years ago now. So this was one of the very, very first ones. They do say that Sinn keep the first 10 in the company, so this would have been the 16th one released to the public. If I put it in here, locks down nice and firmly on there, and it's in. If I use, say, some of the larger watches I've got, keeping with the Sinn theme, again a UX I haven't showed yet on the video. Fortunately, well no, that's alright, we can plug that in, and the U2 which I've done recently. So these are 44mm watches, but even when they're fitted in the case, they're not touching, they're not going to scuff against each other like some. The cases, I do have smaller cases now, but I use them in a safe, but the problem is they're so small that sometimes you can get the watches rubbing together, which obviously you do not want. It holds 16 watches very securely, very snugly. You have this lovely embossed top here, which is nice. The only thing I have found is that you do have to double side this down, because it does come with a couple of pads which holds this in place, but it will keep coming off. So I put some carpet tape behind to actually keep this secured on here. You can actually see with small marks in the circles on the foam where the watch faces on a couple of the watches I fit in here when it's full do touch the top, but again, this is nice and soft. It really is, I think, you know, the mother of all super tough cases for watches. It's pretty badass. You know, when you close it up, it is solid. Nothing's getting in there. So if you do find yourself with quite a reasonable collection, and you do want to travel around and you want to make sure they are secure, in that they're not going to get damaged if you knock your watch case against a wall or whatever, or if it accidentally falls out your hand, hits the ground. This truly is, yeah, the kind of Mad Max of all watch cases. It's going to keep your watches secure, safe, no problem at all, impervious to the elements. I've seen these things hit, you know, set on fire. PeliCases, that is. I've seen them set on fire. I've seen firemen's hoses being sprayed at them to see if they let water in. But no, these things are super tough. Completely over the top, really. But hey, you know, we don't mind that, do we? So no, there you go. That is a very brief, well, you know, sort of like a quick look at the Sinn watch case. It's reasonably heavy. It's like a full-size briefcase when it's closed, but it is nice. The strap is actually angled, so it makes it a lot easier when you are carrying it. So you've got this contour, so that makes it a tad bit easier. I know you can buy the PeliCase on its own, and you can buy it very cheap, but then when you buy the foam inserts, I very much doubt you'll come up with something like Sinn have done here, where it is all kind of set up for watches. This is very hard. This foam is quite, yeah, don't get me wrong, it's pliable, but it's not going anywhere. I've had this now obviously for 2 or 3 years, and there's no signs of real wear on it at all. So, you know, I'd strongly recommend it. That's if they have any left, but you know, I was one of these people who brought one. So there you go, something a tad bit different. Okay, all the best. Bye.